They did play better, but you just can't put your finger on, is it better because their defense was more locked in, or was it better because of who the 76ers rolled out?
A lot of people are pointing out that the defense did look better in tonight's game. They're giving kudos to Bradley Beal and his defensive efforts. I know Tyrese Maxey's had 30 plus points in I think 5 of his last 7 games. And he finished with what tonight? 6, 7, something like that? 6.
Yeah, he didn't have a good game,
He had 6. He was 3 of 13, 0-4 from the field. So,
Hey,
do you guys feel like the defense was a little bit better tonight than what we've seen as of late?
See, that's hard to judge. It really is hard to judge against a team like this, because there's multiple guys in there that I'm sure, like Devin Booker was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's a couple dudes that I saw a couple, and I was like, man,
who the hell is
I haven't seen that guy for a minute, or I don't even know who he is, right? So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But, listen, they did play better, but you just can't put your finger on, is it better because their defense was more locked in, or was it better because of who the 76ers rolled out? I think there was a little bit of both. They still broke down sometimes. I mean, we talked about a play where nobody even realized there was a guy wide open in the corner. Yeah.
Walked up and hit a
just,
the Buddy Hield one where it was like KD, Bull, and Eubanks,
and all
right
3 of them didn't know who to go to.
So it's those communication errors that continuously happen, and when you play better teams, it's going to be exposed a little bit more. And we saw that against Milwaukee tonight. They tried to clean it up. Again, these next 3 or 4 games, you really do have to work on fine-tuning your sets and your defensive rotations, because that's probably the most glaring thing that's going to stop you from being competitive in the playoffs. I'll say this, if they play the level of defense that they did against Milwaukee and the Celtics in the second half, in the playoffs, it'll be 4, 5, 6 game series, maybe max. They'll see themselves in Cancun pretty damn soon. They got to lock in on the defensive side. I feel like that's I talked about Bradley Beal giving this team offensively a higher ceiling, and the potential to get to that ceiling. Well, I think defensively right now, their floor is kind of low right now, and they need to raise that level up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's interesting that the 76ers starters only had 46 points tonight. Like, their bench carried them in large part. And so most of those minutes their starters would have played as against our starters. So I think they were fairly locked in defensively. To your point, though, you have to go back and watch the tape and understand how many open missed shots did Philly have. But you got to give them some kudos after what we've seen against some of these other teams' starting lineups. They did a pretty solid job there and held them to only 43% shooting.